Hey everybody, how's it going? Finally got a shipment in that I've been waiting for from Injora. This finally has some new steering servo in there, so it's got some steering, which is, you know, helpful after all. That's not why we're here today. I just slapped that in real quick, easy peasy. Nope, today we're working on this guy, my power wagon, which if you haven't seen, normally looks something about like that. This is my cliffhanger mod that I've been working on. As you can see, am still running stock wheels and tires, which is less than ideal. So I got these Injora, very nice looking brass wheels. These are very heavy. I'll weigh them here in a second. I also got these Injora Crawler Master tires. We'll pull those out here in a second. As well as the Injora brass outer portal covers. I got two sets so we can do fronts and rears. We're right on 300 grams, perfectly 300 grams, minus a horn, so that will be calculated into it. Anyone that's ran one of these FCXs knows that these wheels leave a lot to be desired. Tread pattern isn't that great. That being said, being a big ag tire, I did run this in some mud, several times actually, and they do wonderfully in the mud. Boy, those are sticky, that is for sure. I believe these are their S3 compound, maybe S4, not the softest compound that they have. Let's take a look at these beauties. Holy moly, look at that hard work kit. There's just 1 or 10 in there, and man, those are heavy. That is just absolutely beautiful. Look at that thing. All for the stock wheels and tires. 95 grams. That's 224 grams of rotational mass on this. I hope the stock FCX motor can hold up to it. We will see. That is a lot of rotating mass. Let's get these things assembled. Alright everyone, there we go. I've got our wheels on there. This is actually the next morning. This took forever to do on all 4 of these wheels. And I couldn't wait last night after I got them done. It was pretty late. But I went and I just putzed around the living room real quick, and it is surprising how much differently it handles. But I did not get my brass portal covers on yet, so I'm going to go ahead and work on that now. So on these wheels, I did end up omitting the 6 bolts that go around in the middle here. I do not have a driver. I don't actually have a very good driver in the first place, just this little cross one. And it would not fit down over the nut and next to those. But that was easy enough to just not put those in. It works really well. Alright everyone, here we go. We are done. We've got our brass Injora wheels and all 4 of our brass Injora portal covers in there. This thing weighs a ton, and it's all not on the chassis. It's all down low. This thing should be pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and get a final weight on this guy with no body, no battery. 522 grams. Now, if I throw the stock battery and the stock body on there, looking at 619 grams as it sits. That is impressive. And let's be honest here, these wheels look amazing, even on this stock body. I'm willing to bet that these will offset the weight of that wonderfully, and this should perform leaps and bounds better than it did before. I'm excited to go test it out, so let's go give it a run. I just got done running this thing. That's why it's still all nice and super wet here. Let me go ahead and turn it off. Get rid of my body mount here. And like I said, I literally just finished running this thing. There is still snow packed in my wheels here. I didn't get to run this thing as much as I wanted to for a couple of reasons, actually. Yesterday, it was all super rainy, super muddy. I did run it a bit in the mud. And then today was our first snow of the season, so that's also awesome. And like I alluded to earlier, these wheels and these portal covers really do change the characteristics of this truck a lot. The weight distribution is much, much better. Yesterday in the mud, I ran my Power Wagon body here, which you can see it was no small amount of mud there. And then today in the snow, I was running my snow and I guess a little bit of mud there. I was running my custom cliffhanger body here. And this thing you basically can't flip over while just doing a sharp turn. It's got too much weight down low. And the top speed actually does suffer because of the additional rotational mass on here, which I sort of expected. In fact, it was exasperated with this snow and mud situation because I ended up with lots of snow and mud packed on the wheels. And it got to the point sometimes where I couldn't actually drive this round in high at all. I had to be in low gear just because of how much mass was on the wheels. It's not too bad when it's just the wheels, but if you're going to be driving anything like this, these aren't for it. I mean, these are the worst choice for this sort of environment. But for crawling, I did get to do just a tiny bit right before it rained yesterday, and it is awesome. Sections on my little course that I have that it couldn't get up without a little bit of help before, it just crawls right up, no problem. It has crazy angles as far as how high up it can go before tilting back. It is amazing. I mean, look how high we are right there, and I'm just pushing on it. Granted, it's not driving that, but there you go. That was our pivot point, just for our center of gravity. I'll set up a test rig at some point that we can actually test those angles as far as incline and decline angles, but this thing is doing awesome so far. But there's also some downsides to these wheels that I came across. One was obviously the rotational mass. Another thing is, nuts and bolts in here, I was kind of surprised. They were already showing signs of rust. Yes, I mean, they're very, very wet right now, but that was sort of disappointing that they weren't, they don't appear to be a stainless steel. I don't think you guys can actually pick it up on there. It actually sort of cleaned out. But they were showing signs of rust. Yeah, here you go. It's a lot more obvious on this one. Which, again, I find really disappointing. I mean, a day old. I know this isn't what they're intended for, but I still find it disappointing. Also, I have to see if this is my fault or something with the wheel, but this one, you can see, is not sealed, so unfortunately I've probably got water in this one now. I think it's the only one that did that. But overall, my initial impressions, these wheels and tires, compared to anything else I have, are awesome. These are the wheels and tires I put on my C10 because I like the look of them on here. And these are a much stiffer compound. And they were still an upgrade from stock. But this brings into light the question of, really, what tires are the best? Well, I mean, there's a lot of obviously different environments that you can drive these in. There's no list of an objective comparison of these tires at all, whatsoever. So I'm going to start putting something together. I'm putting a test rig together where we can actually quantify grip on different surfaces in different conditions. And I will start ranking these tires. And it's going to be totally awesome. So if that's something that interests you, get subscribed. That'll be coming out soon. I'm prototyping. It's on the printer right now. We'll have that sort of information coming along pretty shortly here. So I will see you guys then.